Get down!
Es gibt ein Haus in Neu-Berlin, man nennt es Haus Abendrot. Es war der Ruin vieler guter Jungs von mir.
We've arrived in Lubeck. Very lovely it is too, and the weather is stunning, thank God. We have huge beer. It's nearly as big as me. I've been reading, so I haven't explored the town quite yet. It's just lovely. We're really looking forward to showing you around. Actually, my beer is non-alcoholic. Geoff's isn't. So here in the Convent Cafe, the bees have their own table. Isn't that the coolest thing? They're really enjoying that. Minding their own business, not bothering anybody else. Never seen that before. It's rather nice, I think, actually. There are loads of them. Water boatmen, but there's hundreds of them. I don't like Flynn. He's desperate to get in the lake, absolutely desperate. Gosh, that is a view. That is beautiful. The lake here is absolutely huge. Oh, Flynn, what did you do? Oh, nasty.
Great Nelly.
What did you do? Oh, soppy dog. Well, I think he slipped. I don't think he deliberately jumped in. Flynn is not a natural born swimmer. Luckily Geoff fished him out. Yuck. That's going to be fun back in Gus the Bus.
Nach Neu-Berlin, ein Getriebener von meiner Not. Den Rest meiner Tage bleib ich dort bei dem Haus Abendrot.
Morning, campers. Well, it's a beautiful, beautiful morning here at Lubeck Lake. There we go. What a place to start your day. We are feeling less than chipper though this morning. We've had a rough couple of nights. Get ready for a bit of a whinge-a-thon. So last night in Hamburg, I got bitten by a multitude of insects. I think I had 6 bites on my left hand, 4 on my right, and I've got some on my face which I periodically scratch at. And the trouble is that I am allergic to insect bites. My hand swelled up like a balloon and was burning. I woke up about 1:30 not last night, the night before, and my hand was literally on fire. Well, both hands really were on fire. It was just awful. And I was going crazy with it, so I woke up, ran them under cold water and took Piriton, but it was a rough night. And last night my hands were better, but Flynn was jumping on and off the bed all night and jumping on Geoff's legs, and he was just fed up, and basically he ended up getting up and reading till about 3:30. So he's not in the best frame of mind. This is the one problem with our camper van, is it's only got a 4-foot bed. Flynn's bed is on our bed because he just won't sleep on the floor. This has been the case ever since we got him. He's a very determined dog and he will not tolerate being in a crate at all. Never has, never will. I mean, we love him, but for God's sake, we are both absolutely shattered. That's my morning rant. It is beautiful, and it is a beautiful day, and we are very happy about the fact it's a beautiful day. Well, Geoff hasn't ventured out. He doesn't know it's a beautiful day. It'll get better as the day goes on. I mean, it's gorgeous. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous place. If you ever have the opportunity to visit Lubeck, do it, because it's wonderful. I'm gonna love you and leave you. Rant over.
E seppellire lassù in montagna. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. E seppellire lassù in montagna sotto l'ombra di bel fior.
We've just heard from the tour guide, homeowners in around Germany and maybe even Holland as well, would build facades from the roof to make the building look taller and bigger than it actually was, to give them more prestige. Not that this house particularly needs prestige, but the stepped roof thing is literally just to give the house status and height, to make it very dominant in the landscape. So we just finished having a look at the Holstenter Gate, which is the sort of the big tourist attraction in Lubeck. It's really lovely. Lubeck is completely surrounded by water, so that was the main gate into the city. It's interesting in Lubeck because we were quite surprised at how much new building there was. It seems to be a real old and new, and the main square is only half there, and then there's sort of 70s shops kind of around it, and it turns out that it took a real kicking in the war. Huge swathes of it, churches and everything were just completely razed to the ground. So what we see is what remained and what they rebuilt, because they did rebuild quite a lot of it as it was before, but not all of it. It's very lovely, and it's a very pretty city. It's much, much bigger than we even thought it was. So we've just had a little beer, and we shared an apple cake, as you do. And I think we're going to make our way back to Gus the Bus now, and both of us have a little relax for a while. Do a little bit of a chat about the whole war thing, because walking around Lubeck, it really was quite moving actually, to see this whole massive corridor of modern buildings in what was obviously a pretty fairy tale looking town. Turns out that Lubeck was bombed in 1942 as part of a retaliation of the bombing of Coventry, and it was all a big sort of morale killing thing. The Germans were trying to kill British morale, we were trying to kill German morale. It didn't work. Nobody's morale was dented, everybody held firm. It was all experimental, apparently. So the RAF had these sentry bombs, and they wanted to try them out on sort of like B locations, and preferably B locations that had a lot of wood and half-timbered buildings, so that they would really burn well. And Lubeck was perfect for that, as was Rostock, which is one of the neighbouring towns that was also bombed. It burned to such a high temperature that the church bells also melted. 25,000 people were rendered homeless. It took them till 1948 to clear up most of the rubble, and then it took them from between 1982 and 1986 to finish rebuilding St. Peter's Church, and the cathedral was eventually finished. They reconstructed it in 1986. It's so upsetting. You know, one of the things that has really struck us as we've wended our way across Germany is just how lovely the people are. They're just really friendly, really helpful, really jolly, as are most people we have found across Europe. I don't know whether I should be saying this in one of our YouTube videos, but you know, this whole thing of lest we forget, it's such a shame because it just doesn't work, does it? You know, we're seeing the same thing played out now, Russia and Ukraine and then Gaza. It's just awful. In my humble opinion, ordinary people, it's just we elect the wrong guys. We elect rabble-rousers, and it's the rabble-rousers that have caused the problem all the way along the line. And we haven't learned. And if anything, if there was any lesson to be learned, is we've got to stop putting rabble-rousers in power, because then ordinary people get to reap the havoc that causes. We mustn't give them power ever again, because when we look at history, when we look at what's happened in places like Lubeck and, you know, in the UK and across the world, these are the guys that do the damage. Anyway, Lubeck is lovely. People of Lubeck are lovely, and it kind of moved me a little bit, so I just wanted to say some stuff. Hope that's okay. Anyway, back on the road. So what have you been doing for the last 2.5 hours, Geoff?
I've been waiting for the Amazon man. Sitting on the doorstep of the South African embassy, which I accidentally gave the address to instead of where we actually are. But here we are, having a grand opening ceremony. It's not very interesting looking, is it really? But these are the cables that will enable us to charge our batteries.
So basically what's been going on is that our leads, which help us charge things from the solar, they're really important and they're breaking. And Geoff has tried to repair one and couldn't, and the other one is holding on with its fingernails. So Geoff said, we need to be able to buy something from Amazon. So he managed to get onto Amazon Germany.
Well, that's to set up a German Amazon account.
And then he looked around where the bus was. There we are, look, there they are.
Cool
Well
colour.
done. They are. They're big chunky ones, aren't they?
They are.
And then he found out the address that he'd chosen was actually round the corner, and he'd put a note on it saying the camper van opposite, except that this 19 whatever it is was actually the South African embassy, and it actually isn't round the corner. But there was indeed a camper van opposite, just not us. So Geoff decided he was not going to miss this, so he went round the corner and sat on the step for 2.5 hours. I'm laughing. Poor Geoff.
As long as somebody finds it amusing, that makes my life worthwhile.
Right, he is very dogged. He is a true Geoffrey. Is it right though? Does it work?
Well, that's the thing. Plug it in and see. Oh, hang on. No.
Oh no.
Well, no, it'll work, but it won't work here because the battery's gone down. I'll try it with the other one. He's still filming this.
Did you just headbutt the kitchen cupboard door?
He was looking at me in a funny way. Well, that red light's gone on. Yes, it works.
It works. How awesome is that? Well done. I mean, honestly, that was a hell of a thing you did there.
You can't buy things like that in shops, in any shop, England or Germany. I don't need them anyway.
Thank you, Mr. Amazon. We may not love you, but we have grown to need you. Very good. So we can charge our box now, which is a relief to us both. That's a good job done. See you later. This is our back door view that we've been enjoying during our time in Lubeck. What a fantastic thing it's been to have been right on the lake like this. Absolutely gorgeous. And there's the alarm going off. So we couldn't leave Lubeck without going in the cathedral. It's so dominating on the skyline. This is our very last hour here. So I'm going to take you inside and let's have a look at what it has to offer. They're constantly repairing it. I don't know if this is war damage or not, but as you can see from this patchwork of brick going up the side there, lots of different sort of colours. It's in a bit of a state of repair. Anyway, let's go in and see what's inside. No Flynn in here then. So this is what happened in the war. It's showing us a whole exhibition here as to what they're still repairing even now. Really fascinating. I mean, what an amazing job they've done. Turns out this cathedral is nearly 900 years old and it's just phenomenal inside. In order to rebuild it, they brought in all of these specialists who had to drill into the brickwork to a depth of about 3 meters, and then they would pull out these core bits of brick which would then immediately put into sealed bags, and then they would go off to the labs for moisture testing. Only about 11% of the 11th and 12th century brickwork actually remained. Obviously the rest of it has been fixed and built up over the centuries. The amount of scientific work, it wasn't just rebuilding. They had to go right into the core of the building to figure out the moisture that was in there and whether it would be able to support the new bits that they were going to build. If the Germans are excellent at anything, it's exactness and technology, and I tell you what, they pulled out all the stops with this. Amazing when you look at the photos inside. They've got all the core bits of the brick that were taken out of the building. They were all, everything was exactly numbered. They knew exactly what date, what time of day they took it out, so that they would know anyway. And it was very beautiful inside. The whiteness of everything actually gave it this sort of purity, which was really lovely and very, very calming and very peaceful. I'm a big fan of the big ornate Italian-esque cathedrals. They're just fantastic, especially the very colourful ones. But I have to say this pure white, especially as guests, because it's newer as well, it just felt like this very peaceful space. We're going to move on and we're heading up to our next stop, which is I can't remember. It begins with R. I know that. It begins with R, on the coast, and there'll be a beach. Stay tuned.
At the next stop sign,
cannot believe this. I have been sitting in the bus all day doing readings and working while the sun outside was blazing, and now I managed to come out and the wind has got up and the clouds have come over and it's decidedly bleh. God, look at the state of this. It's not fair, is it? Anyway, we're just going to have a little beer. It's really windy. Never mind, we are not deterred. Where are we? We're in Warnemund. We know because it says it on the menu. Having his and hers beers, but see, this is the little beer, which is mine, and this is the big beer.
Mine's a proper beer, hers just a taste, to see if she likes it.
It's a very sweet place, it's quite commercial. In the sunshine it would be quite jelly.
Amazing how that works, isn't it?
Kind of hoping the sun comes out. It's threatening to sneak out from behind the clouds, so we'll see. So we're just having a conversation about how I'm getting all swept away by the idea of a boat. See, and I just said to Geoff, if we had a Dutch barge, those barges could go on the sea. You see. And I said to Geoff, if we got a Dutch barge, he and I could do a captain certificate, which would mean that we were legally able to take our Dutch barge across the channel and we could sail around the French waterways of Europe and go further. And this is his face when I proposed this plan.
Anybody who wants that kind of certificate should be certified.
Don't you think it's a good idea, Geoff?
No, it's a terrible idea.
It's a great idea.
I hate the sea, I hate the bad weather. I drove up on the channel on the crossing from Dieppe.
No, that was a bad crossing, to
As
be fair.
they will all be every time we went out on our Dutch barge.
Men are so negative.
Yeah.
So negative. They
How do we
don't
get this
see
way, I wonder?
the excitement in the plan.
It's because we have to deal with all these daft ideas. Point out the very obvious reasons why they're not good ideas.
I'm going to work on it. My level of success may be low to middling. This is the washing up window today as the ferry glides past. You can see that on the news in the UK today it was issuing heat warnings and all over Europe, and how there are fires in Spain. Not here.
Germany wasn't mentioned.
It's raining. Germany was not mentioned in dispatches, nor was Denmark, nor was Sweden, unsurprisingly. Here it rains. Can't believe it. We're watching the UK swelter while we're sitting here watching rain dripping down the windows of Gus the Bus. Oh.
It's so huge. I can't believe there's hundreds of camper vans here. Where are they all going? Where have they all been? You know?
We're very excited. Aren't we excited?
We're so excited.
We're just about to go on the ferry to cross to Denmark, and we've been watching this ferry slide past the bus for the last 24 hours, and we're about to get on it. It's got an amazing chimney. Check out this chimney. It's a chimney. Look. Alright, it's a funnel because it's a boat. That's where we're heading. Denmark, here we come.
Can't you see I love you? Please don't break my heart in two. That's not hard to do, 'cause I don't have a wooden heart. And if you say goodbye, then I know that I would cry. maybe I would die, 'cause I don't have a wooden heart. There's no chains apart this love of mine. It was always you from the start. Treat me nice, treat me good, treat me like you really should, 'cause I'm not made of wood and I don't have a wooden heart.
We're in Denmark.
Denmark.
We've realised we've been going nearly a month and a half, and that's quite disturbing.
Drinking Gron. Tuborg Gron.
We just had a big shock because we bought a couple of beers, which were these, in the shop. But because we were here by the fjord, there's a restaurant sort of up there. We thought, oh, I know, let's just sit and have a beer, and a couple of small beers. I mean, little ones like that. How much was it?
£11.
£11.
But from the shop, they're only £3. Now I remember this from a previous trip to Denmark, that the Danish people basically just drink at home, go to the supermarket rather than go to a pub or a bar. It just seems to be a cultural thing.
This is really lovely, and it's the first time really we've sort of felt that this is a place to relax. It's a lovely little beach, and we've decided to come down here and watch the sun go down. Bring our cheap campsite beers. Let me show you where we're at.